Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Well, today we're looking at India.
Uh-huh.
Specifically,
Okay.
all the investment that's pouring into the country.
Interesting.
Yeah, especially over the last decade or so.
Right.
We've got a few sources today,
Yeah.
a couple articles,
Okay.
and a YouTube video we found.
Awesome.
They all kind of paint the same picture.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, lots of investment, lots of growth.
Cool.
So yeah, pretty exciting stuff.
Well, I think when we're looking at investment patterns, it gives us like a sneak peek into the future, you know,
Yeah.
for the whole global economy, really.
For sure.
Not just a specific country.
Right.
It helps us understand
Yeah.
where are the opportunities
Yeah.
for everyone, for businesses, for financial markets,
Right,
and
yeah.
even for, anyone's personal investments.
Absolutely.
So,
Okay, so let's jump right in.
okay.
Our sources all mention this huge number,
Okay.
$14 trillion.
Wow.
That's how much investment India's attracted since independence.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, try wrapping your head around that.
I mean,
Got
it gets a lot of zeros.
Exactly.
Yes.
But,
But here's what's even more remarkable.
okay.
Over half of that, like $8 trillion,
Wow.
has come in just the last decade.
No way.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's not just growth.
Right.
It's like this crazy acceleration of investment.
It makes you wonder what's driving all this.
Yeah, what are they spending it on?
Right. Like what kind of projects?
Yeah.
What kind of opportunities are they putting this money into?
Well, the YouTube video actually
Okay.
breaks it down into three main buckets.
Okay.
Government spending, private investment,
Okay.
and then what they call FDI.
SDI.
Yeah, foreign direct investment.
Right.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's a mix
Yeah,
of internal and external forces
right.
that are driving all this growth. And it sounds like a lot of this is going towards
Yes,
building up their infrastructure.
that's right. A lot of it is going to like the core, the backbone of the economy.
Exactly.
Stuff like roads, railways, airports.
Right. All the essentials.
Yeah, and what's really cool here
Yeah.
is this idea of the multiplier effect.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Have you?
Yeah.
So you know how it works.
Well, it's like when you
Yeah.
invest in infrastructure,
Right.
and it's not just about those immediate jobs.
Exactly.
It's about,
It ripples.
yeah, it creates a ripple effect
Exactly.
throughout the whole economy.
So like imagine you build a new highway,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Suddenly businesses,
Yeah.
they can transport stuff easier,
Right.
which means they can sell more,
Uh-huh.
which means they can sell more,
Uh-huh.
which means more profits.
Yeah.
They hire more workers.
And then those workers spend more.
Exactly. It's this chain reaction.
It's like a chain reaction of growth. So it's like they're setting the stage
Mhm.
for long-term expansion.
Yep. And speaking of growth,
Yeah.
our sources also talk about
Uh-huh.
India's stock market.
Oh, yeah. How's that doing?
Well, it's doing pretty well.
Okay.
It has these occasional dips, of course,
Right.
which,
Yeah, you kind of expect that?
yeah, pretty much every year there's some kind of dip.
Yeah, that's normal.
But overall,
Hmm.
it's had positive returns
Oh, wow.
in 26 out of the past 33 years.
It's a pretty solid track record.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that kind of consistency really shows
Yeah,
how much confidence investors have
right.
in India's future.
Exactly.
But what does it tell us about the overall economy?
Well, it tells us that even with the ups and downs,
Every market has those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Totally.
The long-term trend
Yeah.
has been up.
Okay.
So it's like this strong signal that the economy is strong and that investors believe in India's growth.
So even with those little bumps in the road,
Uh-huh.
the big picture looks good.
It does.
Really good.
It does.
Yeah, it's like a
Okay.
a roller coaster that just keeps climbing higher.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
But what about the future?
Well, now
Yeah.
the projections are even more exciting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, India is expected to attract another 8 trillion in investments.
8 trillion more
8 trillion more.
on top of the 14.
Yeah, over the next 5 years.
No way.
Yeah, so the same amount.
So all the growth
Yeah.
from the past decade,
Exactly.
it's gonna happen again
Uh-huh.
in just the next 5 years.
That's what they're saying.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
It is.
So what's driving all this optimism?
Well, a lot of things, actually. It's
Yeah.
not just the infrastructure
Right.
and the stock market.
There's gotta be more to it.
There's a lot more to it, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm ready to hear all about it.
All right, let's dive in. One of the big things is
What?
The government, they've been making it easier to do business there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're really trying to attract foreign investment.
Okay.
Cutting back on regulations.
Right, streamlining things.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
And then there's the tech sector.
Yeah, we've been hearing so much about India becoming this, like, tech hub.
Oh, it's not just hype.
Really?
Yeah, it's real. Okay.
Yeah.
Some really innovative companies are coming out of India.
Like who?
Well, like Flipkart,
Yep.
They're changing the e-commerce game.
For sure.
And then there's Byju's.
Byju's.
Yeah, they do online education.
Oh.
Yeah, and they're doing really well.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and these companies, they're not just succeeding in India.
Oh, wow.
They're going global.
So it's not just about
Right.
big construction projects and stuff.
It's about fostering innovation.
Oh, yeah.
Entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Creating that whole ecosystem.
Exactly, and that attracts even more investment.
Right. From venture capitalists
All the big players.
and those global tech giants.
Exactly, and then
Yeah.
you get that multiplier effect again.
Oh, yeah.
These startups,
Yeah.
they disrupt industries,
Uh-huh.
create jobs, bring in more money.
It's like that snowball effect.
Yeah, exactly.
So it sounds like
Yeah.
India is really becoming a leader
Mhm.
in the tech world.
They're a force to be reckoned with.
That's huge.
It is.
Yeah, what does that mean
Well,
for the rest of the world?
it means that India could become a major exporter
Okay.
of technology and innovation,
Wow.
and that could change everything.
Right, like how we live,
Uh-huh.
how we work.
Exactly how the global economy functions.
Oh, yeah. I remember reading something about
Yeah.
India being included in
Oh, yeah.
global bond indices.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
Sure. So basically,
Yeah.
it's like this VIP club
Right.
for investors,
Mhm.
and only the most promising economies get to be in the club. And when a country like India gets in,
Yeah.
it tells investors that India is a good bet.
It's like a stamp of approval
Exactly.
from the whole world,
Exactly. And that brings in a ton of investment.
which helps them grow even faster.
Exactly. It's a huge deal.
But it's important to remember
Yeah.
that there are still challenges. Right.
Of course, every country has challenges.
Yeah.
India's no exception.
Well, like their stock market,
Right.
it's doing well, but
But there are those dips.
yeah, sometimes pretty big dips.
Yeah, sometimes 10, 20% even.
In a year.
Yeah, in a single year.
That's a lot.
It is, but those ups and downs,
Mm-hmm.
they're normal.
Okay.
It's a healthy market.
So it's about
Yeah.
taking that long-term view.
Exactly.
Don't panic sell when you see a dip.
Yeah, stay calm.
Trust
Yeah.
the process.
Exactly. It's about the long game.
Are there other challenges, though?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
India's got its own unique set of issues.
Like what?
Well, like bureaucracy.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, it can be slow and complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are infrastructure bottlenecks.
Oh, right. They're still building all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then income inequality is a big one.
Right.
It's a lot to tackle.
So it's a work in progress.
Yeah, it is.
But it sounds like they're making progress.
Yeah, the government is trying.
Okay.
They're working on those problems.
Sure.
They're investing in solutions.
It's like a
Yeah.
giant puzzle they're
Yeah,
trying to
it's a
solve.
giant puzzle with a lot of pieces.
Exactly. And it sounds like the
Yes.
pieces are starting to fit together.
They are.
Okay. So we've talked about the internal factors
Uh-huh.
driving India's boom.
Yes.
But what about
Yeah.
the impact on the rest of the world?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah, like what happens in India doesn't
Mhm.
stay in India, right?
Exactly, especially with all this growth and investment.
It's got to have some kind of ripple effect.
It does. It definitely does. And that's what we'll talk about next.
All right, so we've talked about all this investment pouring into India.
Yes, trillions of dollars.
Yeah, infrastructure tech all growing super fast.
It's remarkable.
But what about the rest of the world?
Right. What happens in India
Yeah.
doesn't stay in India.
Exactly.
It's like that ripple effect. You know,
Yeah.
you drop a pebble in a pond
Mm-hmm.
and the ripples spread out.
So as India's economy grows,
Exactly.
what happens?
Well, their demand for everything goes up.
Oh, right, like resources.
Uh-huh. Energy, consumer goods, all of it.
So that's a huge opportunity
It is.
for businesses all over the world.
Yeah. Anyone who wants to sell to India.
I mean, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
They might need more iron ore from Australia,
Yeah.
more smartphones from Korea.
Exactly.
So it could really boost global trade.
It could create whole new markets.
And it's not just about the economics.
Right.
As India becomes more powerful,
Uh-huh.
they'll have a bigger role
Hmm.
in world affairs.
Exactly. In international organizations,
Yeah.
trade negotiations.
Maybe even helping to solve
Yeah.
global problems like climate change.
Potentially.
It's like a shift in the balance of power.
Yeah. You could say that.
Not just economically, but
politically, too.
yeah, and that could lead to new alliances.
For sure. Countries working together.
Yeah, partnering up with India.
Makes sense.
But we also talked about how India is attracting more investment.
Yeah.
Because of those global bond indices.
Right.
But doesn't that mean
it does.
More competition?
Yeah, more countries fighting for the same money.
So it could push up interest rates.
It could.
Make it more expensive for other countries.
Potentially.
To borrow money.
Exactly. It's a complex system.
Yeah, it's not just a direct impact on trade.
Yeah.
There are all these other kind of behind-the-scenes effects.
Exactly. It affects the whole financial system.
Okay, and then there's the innovation angle. Oh. With India's tech sector growing so fast, they could make breakthroughs.
They could.
In all sorts of areas. Like AI, renewable energy, healthcare, all that stuff.
All of that.
And those breakthroughs could benefit everyone.
Exactly. It's not just about economic growth.
It's about improving people's lives.
Exactly.
But are there any downsides?
Well.
Yeah, to all this rapid growth.
There are always potential challenges.
Like what?
Well, we talked about the competition for resources.
Right. If India needs more energy, that could drive up prices.
It could.
Wow.
And then there's the environmental impact.
Oh, right.
India needs to grow sustainably.
Yeah, for their own sake.
Exactly.
And for the whole world.
For everyone.
So the key takeaway here is...
What is it?
That what happens in India matters to everyone.
It does. It really does.
It's all connected.
Exactly. The world is interconnected.
We need to stay informed.
Stay curious.
Yeah, and be ready to adapt.
To this changing world.
Because this isn't just about numbers.
No.
It's about people.
Yeah.
And their hopes for a better future.
That's what it's all about.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a question.
All right, I like questions.
If India keeps growing like this, how will it change the world?
Ooh, good question.
What opportunities will it create? What challenges will we face?
That's something for everyone to think about.
It's a story that's still being written.
It is a fascinating story.
So stay curious, keep learning,
and
let's see what the future holds.
I'm excited to see what happens.